I don't see an acorn. I see a tree. He says, very good. He goes, you know what I see? I see a forest. See, depth of vision. And I go, I get it. I don't see a forest. I see houses and buildings all over the world from the wood. Do you understand? From that's called depth of vision, seeing things further down the track. But when Bill Gates was on Larry King, so he said, first, depth of vision. And then he said, timing. You have to be at the right place at the right time. He said, luck has a lot to do with that. Now, luck is created. So when you want something and focus on it obsessively, the universe will give you circumstances, situations, events, and people. In other words, the universe will put you at the right place at the right time. And then Bill Gates said, but a lot of people had the same vision I did, and a lot of people were at the same place I was. The big difference is I took action. And this is one thing. The universe will present to you circumstances, events, and situations, but it will be up to you to go with your feeling and do something and take action when it's presented. And the story goes about the minister who was in Louisiana at the church when the floods were coming. And they evacuated the town, and the minister said, no, I don't have to be evacuated because God's going to take care of me. So he stood there at the church, but the water continued to rise and rise and rise. So a boat came by and said to the preacher, we evacuated the whole town. Why don't you hop in this boat and let's get out of here? You know, this is dangerous. And the preacher said, no, God's going to take care of me. I'm not worried. Well, a little while later, the waters continued to rise and rise and rise. Another boat came by and said, preacher, you know, this is getting worse. It isn't getting better. We're here to, nope, I am committed to staying because God's going to take care of me. So the boat left. Well, the waters continued to rise, and the preacher was on the roof of the chapel. And a helicopter came by and said, preacher, it's getting worse. It ain't getting better. You know, you could die here if it rises anymore. And the preacher said, nope, God's going to take care of me. Everything's going to be fine. Well, the water continued to rise, and the preacher drowned. And when he was up in heaven, dead, St. Peter was there, and the preacher was mad. And the preacher said, I don't understand this. I believed in the Bible. I believed in God. I thought God was going to take care of me, but I died. What happened? And St. Peter said, you idiot, we sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. Do you understand that? So in your life, circumstances and situations will present themselves, and a lot of people are just not paying attention. You're wanting something and wanting something and wanting something and wanting something, and all of a sudden, boom, they come into your life, or it comes into your life, or a circumstance comes into your life, and you're not taking action. So you must take action. 7, it's not just or even mostly about the money. People that are super wealthy know it's not really about the money. When you read this, it's about the feeling. So they're really working on how they want to feel. They want to feel as a creator. They want to feel as somebody who's adding value to society. They want to feel an accomplishment. And the money really is secondary. And this is a great little book. It talks about the richest people of all time in America. And it's only Americans. I know most of you here aren't even from America, from all over the world. Those who are listening to the CDs are all over the world as well. So we're just dealing with this American particular thing. But in America, the top 15 richest Americans of all time, one John D. Rockefeller, worth $303 billion. Andrew Carnegie, $281 billion. At the time, Andrew was the richest man in the world. But John D. Took over that later with oil. Cornelius Vanderbilt, $168 billion. Bill Gates, John Jacob Astor. And it goes on, Richard Mellon, Frederick Weyerhaeuser, Marshall Fields, Sam Walton, Jay Gould, Henry Ford, Andrew Mellon, Warren Buffett. All these people, if you pick up the Forbes 400 Look at the 400 richest people in the world are using the techniques that I'm sharing with you today. This is not guru land. This is not some fictional fantasy. This is what everybody is using, period, end of story. And if you think you're going to achieve money by not using this, the answer is yes, you can, to varying degrees, but not really. Because even if you do everything different, what basically is happening is you are putting out a vibration of some money, and the vibration is what's making you the money. It isn't anything else you're doing. It's the vibration. You may think it's the effort. You may think it's the genius that you are and how smart you are and how persuasive and how many good skills you have. None of that really matters. The fact is, what's really making the money in your life, you may think it's everything else, but it's the fact that you are putting out a vibration. You're thinking about what you want and you're vibrating it, and the universe is putting it into your life. You may think it's this, but it's not. It's the thought process, whether you're consciously doing it or just doing it automatically. But when you ask anybody, you know about the law of attraction? Nope. Okay. But you make $500,000 a year. Yeah. Okay. Why do you think you're so successful? And you start talking to them. At the end of the day, like I've talked to these people, at the end of the day, they're all doing the same thing. They're thinking about exactly what they want all the time, and they feel good.
All right, guys, there we go. It is 10:15. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grand Rising and happy Monday. Happy March. It is officially March Madness, and I am so excited to be here with every single one of you. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to jump on today's call. I'm always so blessed and so grateful to be able to share with you guys wisdom, knowledge, and just so much amazing things that are happening for this community. I see so many people growing. I see so many people elevating. I see so many people having breakthroughs, and we have officially entered the third month of the year. And as excited as I am for the third month of the year, it also scares me a little bit because it's like, sheesh, bro, time is really flying. Like, I feel like it was just the other day that it was January 1st and we were celebrating New Year's, and it's already March, right? So it just goes to show, guys, time is going to fly. It's going to go. And I just feel like sometimes we need to slow it down a little bit, right? Because it's like, man, it's already March. In 2 weeks, I go out to Europe. I'll be in Europe for about 2 weeks. Then I come back for 2 weeks. Then I leave for another 2 weeks. Then I come back for 3 weeks. Then I go to Costa Rica for the retreat. So it's like the next couple months are just going to be filled with so much work, so much travel. But I'm just so excited for this month and what it is that's about to happen for every single one of us. So real quick, in the chat box, did everybody do their morning routines this morning, right? Give me a 222 in the chat. If you poured into yourself this morning, if you prioritized working on you, you did the work, you went to the gym, you read the books, you read the Bible, you prayed, you did what you were supposed to do, you did everything that you knew you were supposed to do prior to jumping on this call, right? That's always what's most important as well, right? If you did your work this morning, it's going to start to translate into your life. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you be a better version of yourself. And that's what this is all about. And that's why I'm excited to teach today about the March Madness mindset. You see, because March is a very, very special month for all of us, right? For every single one of us, March is a very special month. But one thing about March is that March is a month of multiplication. March is a month of multiplication. And I'm going to train you guys on the mindset behind how you're going to be able to leverage March to have breakthroughs, to have basically life-changing experiences happen for you. And I cannot wait for you guys to see what's going to happen for all of you. So I'm excited for today's call. I also have an announcement that I'm going to make here on today's call at some point. We have officially announced our special guest speaker for this Thursday. We're going to have a eight-figure earner, if I'm not mistaken, who has managed over $800 million. He is a 3 times bestseller. He's a keynote speaker, and he is a CEO of a sales company. He's going to be our special guest on Thursday for the Inner Circle. So if you're on this call, get ready because that call is going to be absolutely amazing. If you're not in the Inner Circle, Highly recommend you to get in there because it's a call you do not want to miss. So I'm going to be announcing that here in the next couple minutes as we get into today's call. But with that being said, real quick, everybody, number one, turn off all devices of distractions. Number two, take notes. And then number three, listen with the intention to apply. Let's listen with the intention to apply, because today at the top of your paper, I want you to title it March Madness Mindset. All right. March Madness Mindset. All right. So let's get right into this. Okay. The March Madness Mindset. Bendiciones, my brother. Let's talk about point number one, which I think is very important. When it comes to the March Madness mindset, the first thing we need to understand is this: March multiplies what you've already been doing. March multiplies what you've already been doing. March doesn't create results, it magnifies your habits. Remember, the first quarter of the year is what we like to call the foundational season. The first 3 months are always the foundation of your year. So what you do in January, February, and March, think of it as building a house. You are setting the foundation in place so that you can be able to build on top of that foundation for the rest of the year. So March is going to multiply what you've already been doing. So what have you been doing is the question. Have you been disciplined? Have you been inconsistent? Or have you been average? You got to ask yourself, because you're either one of those three things right there. You've either been disciplined all year and you've been working hard, you've been inconsistent, or you've been average. There's one of the three. Now, it's important that we understand which one we've been so we know what we're going to continue to do and also what we're going to stop doing. If you've been disciplined, increase your discipline. Make sure that this month you are more on point than you've ever been. No slip-ups, routine, schedule, calendar. Every action is intentional for you. This is your breakthrough right here. March is going to help you have the breakthrough that you've been looking for. If you've been disciplined all of January, all of February, March is going to be really good for you because it's going to multiply what you've already been doing. And that is important. Keep going. Do not stop here. All right. For my disciplined individuals, this is our chance right here. We've been grinding for the last 30 to 60 days. We got to stay on point. So that's for my first type of people. The second type of people are the people who have been average. Now, let me talk to my average people. No, what do you mean by average? The people that have been average are the people that have been doing good amount of work, but also they've been having a couple of slip-ups as well. You've been doing average actions. You're showing up a couple times a week. You've been doing just enough. And if you're on this call and you know that you could be more disciplined and you know that you could be showing up a little bit more and doing a little bit more actions, then you're probably on that average level right now. So if you're on this call and you're listening to what I'm saying and you're like, well, no, that sounds more like me. I've been doing just enough to get by. I've been working out just enough. I've been reading just enough. I've been waking up on time just enough. And if deep down inside, you know that you could do a lot more, then you're probably on the average level. Now, this is not a bad place to be, because at the average level, at least you're taking average level actions. Now, obviously, you could be doing more, but the goal here is you want to up it a little bit. So you have a choice in March. You can either decide to stay average, and average will continue to multiply in your life, which means average means the same income, same habits, same results, same. Or you can make a decision that for the rest of March, you're going to do above and beyond. You're going to go above and beyond in March. You're going to do more than you've done all year. This could be the month that changes everything. Because if you are the average person, the average individual right now with the habits, you should say, okay, for this month right here, I want to make sure that I do more than I've done all year. I haven't been waking up on time. I'm going to wake up on time all of March. I haven't finished reading my book that I started this year. Let me finish reading it. I haven't been going to the gym. I haven't been doing this. I haven't been reading the Bible. I haven't been, whatever you haven't been doing or whatever you've been doing just enough of, let's do more this month. Let's focus up this month and let's do the things that we've never done before in order for us to lock in. Because none of us want to be average. We want to be disciplined individuals that are above average and are creating results for everybody around us. So if you're on this call and you feel like you are in the average side, it's time to up it. Because remember, we are, and if you guys remember properly, we are living 4 years in 1 year, which means every 90 days is a year. And the first quarter of the year finishes March 31st. So we are in the last, basically in the last run, in the last month of the first quarter. This is the 60 to 90 day mark that we've reached right here. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, today is exactly 60 days into the new year. If I'm not mistaken, because what, 31 days in January, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let me just make sure, right? Let me see right here. Boom. Yeah, 31 days in January. And then we had 28 days in February, which adds up to 59 to be exact. And then yesterday was 60 days. So today is 61. So today is exactly the start of 61 to 90 days. We are exactly 61 days into the new year, which means we are in the last moment of making something happen. And remember, how does the saying go? It's not about how you start, it's about how you blank. Finish it for me in the chat. If it's not about how you start the quarter, then it's about how you blank the quarter. Finish it for me. It's about how you finish. It's about how you finish. So if you've had a disciplined month, stay disciplined. Do more. If you're having an average month, make the decision now that you're going to go above and beyond to increase your action so that you won't be average no more. And the last type of person is the inconsistent individual. Usually, if you've been very inconsistent, which means you've just been slipping up every day, every week, and you're just not doing enough. You've been inconsistent. That's the reality of it is. You haven't been waking up on time. You haven't been reading your books. You haven't been journaling. You haven't been praying. You haven't been doing your work. You haven't been posting on social media. You haven't been going to the gym. You've been inconsistent. You go one day, then you don't go for 3. You go for, you read for 2 or 3 days, then you disappear for a couple days. That's the inconsistent individual. Now, if that's been your year, you have a big decision to make. And let me talk to my inconsistent individuals on this call really quick. If you've been inconsistent, right now, there should be red sirens above your head. There should be red sirens going off above your head like, yo, get your act together. This is not the time to play around. Because what you're doing is, if you go into this next month and you decide, I'm going to be inconsistent again, and you don't make the adjustment, you just basically decided to build your foundation inconsistently, which is going to be very hard for you to have the year that you want to have this year if you do not get your act together. And it's not to scare you. It's to bring awareness to you and let you know, like, it's time to make a shift. If you've been inconsistent, remember, hey, look, the good thing about it is that what happened the last 60 days doesn't define you. It happens. It's happened to me. What does define you is what you do in the next 30 days from now till April 1st. because the next 30 days will determine the energy that you bring into what they call the golden months. You see, the golden months of the year are April, May, and June. That's what we like to call the golden months. The golden months because that's when the most breakthroughs happen. That's where the most money is made. That's where the quantum leaps and everything that you're looking for to happen in your life happens during those months. Because majority, remember, the work and the results that people get is a result of the work that they did 90 days before. So all the work that we did in March, in February, in January, all the way goes back to December, November of last year. All that work starts to stack up, stack up, stack up, stack up. And out of nowhere, one big breakthrough after another big breakthrough, after another business opportunity, after another big sale, things just start to compound. So if you're on this call and you're like, Nano, I've been inconsistent this year. Nano, this hasn't been my best year yet. Let me tell you, it's okay. We still have 10 months left of the year. Fine, your first 2 months weren't the best. It is what it is. But you know what you could do right now? You are one decision away from changing everything. You can make a decision that, yo, March is going to be the month that I am the most consistent that I've been all year. I'm going to stay consistent, and it don't even have to be a lot. You could focus on 1 to 2 to 3 actions a day that you're going to be consistent with. You could just tell yourself, yo, every day this month, I'm going to just read a little bit. Because I know everybody here is in different seasons. I know people right now that are in the same season that I'm in. You're just committed to all areas right now. You're working on your mental. You're working on your physical. You're working on your spiritual. You're working on your finances. Everything is working in your favor. Business is flowing. You're in the gym. You're in the sauna. Your relationship with God is growing every single day. And you just feel on top of the world. That's how I feel. I just finished the gym. I'm feeling great. My relationship with God is growing every single day. Business is flowing. I'm going to Europe in a couple of weeks. Everything is just working out in my favor right now. We just hit 100+ members in the inner circle. The retreat is basically sold out. Like everything is absolutely working out for me. And remember this, guys, the only way that things work out for you is if you're actually doing the work that is necessary behind the scenes. The reason why things work out for me is because I say I'm going to do things and I do these things. I say we're going to get to 100 members in the inner circle and we get to 100 members in the inner circle. I say that we're going to have hundreds of people join the Alpha Society community and hundreds of people join the Alpha Society community. I say we're going to sell out a retreat and we sell out the retreat. Everything that is being spoken is happening. Why? Because I'm putting out the energy and I'm backing it with actions. I'm not just saying something and not doing it. So, like I said, there's one of 3 individuals on this call today. You are either disciplined, you are average, or you're inconsistent. If you're disciplined, keep going, be even more intentional. If you're average, make the decision today to go from average to above average and do more. And if you're inconsistent, give yourself grace, forgive yourself, and make a decision today that you are no longer going to be the person that you've been the last 60 days and go run the play. If we're all clear on those 3 things right there, give me a 333 in the chat box because this is important. This is very, very important. I know where I'm at. I'm happy with how great I did in January. February was also a good month, but I was also a little bit inconsistent. I wouldn't say inconsistent. I was a little bit average in March, I would say. Sorry, not in March, in February. I wasn't as good as I was in January. And I think a little bit of the travels threw me off. I had a lot of work that I kind of let get in the way of it. And I got to adjust and I got to realize what caused me to fall off, right? What was it that caused a little bit of the fall off that I had? Because I wasn't my absolute best self in February. Now, I acknowledge it and I recognize it. Okay, Nano, you had a couple fall offs. There was a couple weeks you didn't meet your standards in terms of how many times you were going to do your routine, etc. Even though I was successful in other areas, like a lot of things worked out for me in business. A lot of things worked out for me in other areas. but there were other areas that kind of fell off a little bit, right? So I want to make sure that I am aware of that going into this next month so I can make the adjustment, because the goal is to finish the first 90 days absolutely savage, where everything I said I was going to do, we did it. Every goal we hit, I stayed consistent. I stayed disciplined. I fell on top of the world, because me, more than anybody, knows how important April, May, and June are going to be. Those are, like they call, the golden months. The golden months. All right. So point number one is to keep in mind, March multiplies what you've already been doing. That's number one. Number two, pray more, brother. No, I pray every day, brother. Number two, this is important. What is the identity you need to shift going into these next 30 days? What is the identity you need to shift for the next 30 days? Because understand, guys, March is not just about your goals. It's about becoming the person who can prepare you for the golden months. I'm going to repeat that again. March is not about just your goals. It is about becoming the person who can prepare you for the golden months of April, May, and June. You got to get ready for that. You got to prepare for that. Like I said again, March is that month of multiplication. But what we just spoke about, we said January, February, and March are the foundation of your year. So just think about it like this, right? If March is the foundation, if the first quarter of the year is the foundation, guess what? The second quarter, which is April, May, and June, that's where now we're stacking the bricks. We stack the bricks now. In July, August, and September, we start to add the roof to it. We start to add the roof, boom, 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 boom. And then in October, November, and December, we put the furniture in the house. I want you to think about it from that perspective. So first quarter, we lay the foundation. Second quarter, we add the bricks. We brick it up. Boom, 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 boom. Third quarter, we put the roof on the house. Fourth quarter, we put the furniture in the house. We redecorate it and we finish it and we're ready. Right now, we are wrapping up the foundation. So ask yourself, who do you need to become in March in order for you to get ready to go into the golden months? What does your routine look like? What habits must die in order for you to become the version of you that you want to be? Do you need to stop sleeping in? Do you need to stop staying up late? Believe it or not, guys, let me tell you guys something. Staying up late is one of the worst decisions that any entrepreneur can make. Unless you're up late working on a project, staying up late is one of the worst decisions that any of us can make. Because you know what? It throws off our whole next day. We wake up late. We miss it. The thing is, what a lot of us don't understand, that if you wake up at 8, 9 a.m., you wake up during the energy that the rest of the world is waking up. So the energy is already clouded. The energy is already clouded. Everybody's up. Everybody's posting on social media. Everybody's messaging. Everybody's emailing. Everybody's calling. Now there's too many distractions. Everything is out there. It's tough. It's tough. Let me tell you guys, in February, right? I can always be honest here with these calls because I don't have to lie to nobody here on this call. There were days that I woke up at 8 a.m. There were days that I woke up at 8:30. And you know what? I wouldn't be able to do my morning routine certain days because the moment I woke up, I already had a ton of work I had to get to. I had a ton of work to get to right away. Okay, Nano, yo, we need you here. Nano, we have our morning kickoff. because we usually do morning kickoffs for my team and my organization in Alpha Society at 8:30. So I was waking up and immediately I had to be on a call. Immediately after the call, we had to get the schedule done. Then I had to get ready for Mornings with Nano at 10 a.m. And then I got inner circle calls and this. So immediately I would wake up late and immediately my morning was gone. Because I woke up late. Why? Because I stayed up late the night before. And because I want to get sleep, because I want to be able to work through the day, then I was just waking up and going straight to work. Now, did I still have a good month? As crazy as this may sound, I had a great month. In terms of productivity for my business, great month. But in terms of personal development, I didn't have my most effective month. I still did my personal development. I still did what I was supposed to do on certain days, but I wasn't at the highest effectiveness when it comes to working on me. Why? Because I was waking up late. Because I was waking up late, it was because I was going to sleep late. Because I was up late doing things that didn't bring me any value. I highly recommend you guys that you start setting a cutoff time every night. Yo, by this time, I got to be in bed. I got to be in bed. Do what you got to do. My cutoff time is 10 p.m. My cutoff time is 10 p.m. By 10 p.m., I got to be already either in bed or finishing up whatever I got to do to get into bed. I don't want to be asleep no later than 11 p.m. 11 p.m., alarms are going off in my head like, yo, Nano, it is late. 11 p.m. is late for me, in my opinion. 10 p.m. would be the ideal time for me to be in bed. And I'm telling you, remember, guys, it's easy to stay up. It's easy to stay up because you're already up. And like I said, unless you're up working on your business, on a project that is going to help you grow, then there's no reason to be up. Because what should we be watching Netflix for? What should we be on the TV? What should we be scrolling on social media? I could tell you guys this. Look, those days that I stayed up, you know what I was doing? I was either watching Netflix or I was scrolling on social media. None of it productive. Now, do I have fun and do I enjoy it? Yes, but it wasn't bringing me any value. Last night, by 10 o'clock, I was done with everything. I did a couple last things, walked the dogs. By 11 p.m., I was already sound asleep. This morning, I was up at 5:30. No problem. From 5:30 till now, I've been working on Nano. I did my full routine. I finished my Bible study. I've read my book. I went to the gym. I hit the sauna. I had my thing. I jumped on the morning kickoff. Everything that I needed for me this morning, I did it. Because I knew that if I stayed up late again, that I would basically sacrifice the early wake up. And let me tell you guys something. Even if you go to sleep late, you got to make the sacrifice and wake up early. Because that morning for you is so important, guys. It's sacred. You can't afford to go to sleep late and not wake up on time. In my opinion, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, everybody here should be up at least 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Like 7 a.m. is late already, in my opinion. That's just me. I could be wrong. I believe everybody here should be up before the rest of the world. The world wakes up 8 a.m., 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. We should be up before the world. We are not average individuals. We should be working on ourselves. Remember, we don't have the same mindset as the rest of the world. It says it in the Bible. It says it in quotes all over different personal development books. Observe the masses and do the opposite. What does it say in the Bible? Do not conform to the patterns of this world. All right? Guys, we got to do different. What habits of yours must die? What distractions got to be cut off? This is the month to cut off distractions. What conversations need to stop? What conversations need to stop between certain people? What distractions do you need to cut off? Let me know in the chat box, what is one distraction you have to remove in March to elevate your life in March? Let me know in the chat box. What is one distraction you got to eliminate? I kind of want to know for some of us. What's one distraction you have to eliminate? For me, I'm going to just put scrolling. That's a distraction for me. Scrolling is definitely a distraction for me. I see going out, I see social media, no smoking, drinking, yes. Snapchat, Twitter scrolling, yes. Netflix, doom scrolling, Netflix, exhaustion scrolling, watching sports, focusing on my game life instead of watching others, their dreams, doom scrolling, TikTok, Netflix, YouTube. Do you guys realize how all of us are kind of like in the same boat in a way? You guys realize this? Like, look at the answers really quick. We are literally the exact same people. We all have the same distractions that are holding us back. It's all it is. We all have the same distractions, which is basically social media and streaming services. That is our biggest distractions right now. Netflix, social media. Netflix, social media, for the most part, from what I see, is our biggest distractions. And if I were to hit maybe like top 4, I would say social media. I would go Netflix. And then if you want to add alcohol, drugs on one, and then boys and girls or women and men. If I were to say those are the top 4 distractions that most people deal with, and I'm telling you because I've had all of them. I've had every single one of them. Every single one of them. I was distracted by social media. I've been distracted by Netflix. I've been distracted by women, and I've been distracted by drugs and alcohol. Yes. Not just weed and alcohol. I don't do other drugs, but you guys get what I'm saying. I've been distracted by those things. And let me tell you guys, when I limited those things and I eliminated them from my life, I changed. When I stopped smoking and drinking, when I stopped having women, multiple women, when I stopped watching Netflix, when I stopped doom scrolling, and I eliminated all those distractions, my life completely shifted. You know why? Because the time that I was dedicating towards Netflix, the time that I was dedicating towards females, the time that I was dedicating towards social media, the time that I was dedicating towards drugs and all of this stuff, you know where I was dedicating all that energy, all that time, all that money and everything? I was dedicating it to productive actions. That's all I did. I just shifted my focus and I just shifted my energy from social media, Netflix, women, drugs, alcohol, going out, all this stuff. I completely shifted it. I completely cut all of that stuff out. And I said, I'm going to put all that focus into God and myself and my business and my family. Everything changed. And here's the reality of it. Kevin Trudeau teaches Teachability Index, right? And when we talk about Teachability Index, we talk about the willingness to learn and the willingness to accept change. Part of the Teachability Index that a lot of people don't understand is that in order for you to become somebody that is coachable and teachable, you got to be willing to sacrifice the things that hold you back. You know what's holding you back. Have you done the work to actually cut those things off? Have you cut off the Netflix? I challenge you to not pay your Netflix membership from now to the summertime. If you're somebody that genuinely feels in your heart right now that you do too much binge watching and you spend too much time watching it, I challenge you to stop your subscription from now to the summer. I challenge you. If you're somebody who does a lot of doom scrolling, I challenge you to set a reminder on your phone to let you know when you've spent an hour or 2 or whatever, what your limit is going to be on your phone. Set a limit. Mine, I have it. I'm not allowed more than 2 hours on Instagram. I'm not allowed more than 2 hours on Instagram a day. Why? I set that myself. And I'm so proud of myself because the best feeling is when I get the alert at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, yes, wow, I've only been on this for 2 hours a day. It feels so good. But you know when it's disgusting for me? When I get the alert at like noon or 3 p.m. and I'm like, yo, what have you been doing today, bro? Like, I don't know if for my people that get the alerts, I don't know if you guys have it like this, but when I get the alerts like middle of the day, I'm like, you've been on your phone way too much already. Like, that's it. Like, it's 3 o'clock and you've already spent 2 hours on Instagram. This is enough. You got to be willing to give those things up. I'm telling us, and I know for a fact, if we were to all open up our phones and we were to check our screen time, we would be disgusted with ourselves. We would be disgusted with ourselves if we were to check the amount of time that goes into our phones. We need to change that, because the reality of it is all that time that's going into our phones, we could be dedicating it to reading, to praying, to going to the gym, to listening to audios. You got to remember this stuff, guys. We got to cut the distractions. The distractions hold us back. The distractions don't allow us to grow into the people that we want to be. Go into a season of sacrifice. The saying says, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. Go into a season of sacrifice where you sacrifice the things that are holding you back. Like I told you guys, at one point in my life, I had all 4 of those distractions that I just mentioned at the top of my list. I was a heavy social media scroller. I was heavy into Netflix. I was heavy into women. I was heavy into drugs and alcohol and going out. And it's not that these things are like terrible and like bad, right? It's just if you do them too much, they take you away from your purpose. Because I don't think watching an episode of Netflix is bad if you're watching a little documentary and you're wanting to catch up on the movie over the weekend. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you choose to watch Netflix over working on your goals. I think that those are things that you should do at the end after your goals are accomplished, right? You want to social media scroll at the end of your day when you finished and you did all your productive actions, great. You want to have a glass of wine, you want to smoke your little blunt at the end of the night because you finished your day, fine, I get it, right? For women and men, I would say, yo, find the one for you and just focus on one. And that's it. Who's the one for you? Focus on that. If you don't have the one, focus on God. God will bring you the right person. That's it. That's the best advice I could give you. That's the reality of it is. Do your best to stay focused. Do the work first. Celebrate second. Reward yourself with the Netflix. Reward yourself with a glass of wine. Reward yourself with some social media scrolling. Reward yourself with things. The thing is, here's the problem. We use these things to escape. We use these things to escape from our reality. My mentor once told me, Nano, don't, I remember, what was it that he was saying? He was mentoring somebody that was a heavy smoker. And the guy, what he smokes all day, like morning, night, afternoon. One of those people that can't do anything without smoking, right? And what I remember, he was mentoring him in front of me, and he said, yo, don't smoke to escape, smoke to celebrate. Because the guy, he was smoking so much, he was just smoking to escape. You're like, bro, don't smoke to escape, smoke to celebrate. If you're gonna smoke, fine, I get it. People like to have their smoke. I'm not gonna try to control nobody's life here. That's not what we do here, right? But what he said, yo, bro, if you're gonna smoke, smoke at the end of the night. Be productive first. Do your thing first. Work on yourself. Do your business. Post on social media. Build your relationship with God. Do what you got to do. And at the end of the day, you want to celebrate with a chill smoke, a little glass of wine, do it. But don't smoke to escape. Smoke to celebrate. Because if you're going to let that stuff slow you down and it's not going to allow you to operate at the best version of yourself, then do it that way. And in reality, what I highly recommend is to completely eliminate it. No smoking, no drinking. That's what I really recommend. But I know for people that have been stuck in that habit for so long, it's kind of hard to go from one day to another cold turkey, right? So work your way out of it. Work your way out of it, guys. Identify what you need to do to be the person you got to be going into these next 30 days. By this point, 60 days in, we should all have a good audit of where we are as individuals, every single one of us. We all need to have a good audit. Yo, this is where I'm at. This is what I've done. These are my distractions. These are the habits that gotta die. This is what I gotta do every day for the next 30 days so I can live up to my expectations. These are the people I need to stop conversating with. Because remember, the month of April is gonna reward those that stay disciplined. It's not gonna reward those that fell off and weren't intentional. It's only gonna celebrate and is only gonna help those that were disciplined. Start working on your discipline now. It can change a lot for you. So, like I said, March is not about just goals. It's about becoming the person who can prepare themselves for April, May, and June. That's the goal. Day one sober. I love that. And then tomorrow's day two. And then push it and go all the way. Go all the way as far as you can. That's all it is. Right? I'm not saying you got to completely leave it for life, but if it is, even better, right? That's the goal of life. So identify who you need to be for the next 30 days as number two. Number three, and this one is important. What are your 3 non-negotiables for March? I highly recommend it in these areas. This is the key. What are your non-negotiables in March for these 3 areas? I want you guys to write this down. Number 1, what are you going to be your non-negotiables for mind, body, spirit? Number 2, what are going to be your non-negotiables for your business or for your job? All right, stay with me here. So number 1, non-negotiable, which means that no matter what, you're going to do this. All right, so number 1, we said what is going to be our non-negotiables for mind, body, and spirit. That's number 1. Number 2 is what is going to be our non-negotiables for our business / our jobs. I know some of us work jobs. What's going to be your non-negotiable for that? And then for anybody that is on social media and knows they got to build their social medias, what is going to be your non-negotiable for social media? Those are our 3 non-negotiables for March. Number 1 is mind, body, spirit. Number 2 is business / job. Number 3 is social media. Nano, give me some examples. Perfect, easy. Number 1, we said mind, body, and spirit. What is going to be your non-negotiable for your mind? You're going to read every day for 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day for your mind. For your body, gym 4 to 5 days a week, as an example. For your spirit, prayer and Bible study daily. That's it. That's a non-negotiable for mind, body, spirit every day. Read 10 pages a day. Body, workout daily, 4 to 5 days a week. Spirit, read the Bible and prayer every day. That's it. Mind, body, spirit, and alignment. If you just did those things right there, what I just mentioned, you guys have no idea how your whole lives will change. My brother, Al Bucks, que lo que. Everything will change for y'all. If every day you prioritize your mind, body, and spirit, you read every day, you hit the gym 4 to 5 days a week, and you prayed and practiced Bible study daily, just those 3 things right there could shift your whole entire life and trajectory of this year. If you just did those things every single day, everything could change for you. And you know what the thing is? It is so easy. Did you know that all of that, what I just mentioned, takes less than 2 hours to do? Assuming you take an hour in the gym, Reading 10 pages is 10 to 15-minute read. Reading the Bible, you could read a Proverbs a day. A Proverbs wouldn't even take you more than 5 minutes to read. And prayer. We're talking about an hour and a half to align your mind, body, and spirit. And you know what the sad part about it is? People don't do it. People don't do it. But if I was to grab their phones and check their screen time, they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours on their phones. But they didn't dedicate not 1 hour to their mind, body, and spirit. And then wonder why they're struggling, wonder why God isn't blessing them, wonder why their finances are the way that they are, wonder why things aren't working out for them, wonder why they're frustrated and stressed. And come on, we have to be realistic. We have to be honest with ourselves. All it takes to align your mind, body, and spirit is an hour and a half, maybe even less. I know people that work out for 30 minutes. They do 30-minute workouts. 30-minute workout, done. 10 minutes of reading, done. Prayer and Bible study, another 10, 15 minutes, done. 1 hour and you align your mind, your body, and your spirit. Come on, guys. Let's all be real. Let's all be honest here. Nobody here could tell me, yo, Neno, I'm struggling. My mind is not in the right place. You can't tell me that, because the thing is, like, yo, every day, if you dedicate an hour to do those 3 things right there, you won't struggle. You won't have peace. I mean, you won't have stress. You won't have those things if you dedicated an hour to doing those things right there. If you do that every day for the next 90 days, I promise you all your problems, everything starts to disappear. I'm telling you, because I know that from experience. From experience, I've seen my life change by me just focusing on those 3 things: mind, body, spirit. Aligned all 3 of them. I worked on my mind by reading books and listening to audios. I worked on my body by working out daily. And I worked on my spirit by reading the Bible and praying every day. That's it. That's all I did. How did your life change? I just did those things every day. It was like brushing my teeth. That was my brushing teeth, my shower, and my reading every day. Sorry, no, that was my brushing my teeth, my shower, and eating every day. You see how we do those 3 things every day? Every day we do those 3 things right there. We shower, we brush our teeth, and we eat every day. Rain or shine, unless you're fasting, you do those 3 things every day. You shower, you eat, and you brush your teeth. I made the same way I was able to do those 3 things every day without even thinking about it. I said, okay, I'm going to read every day. I'm going to work out, and I'm going to read my Bible, and I'm going to pray every day. My life changed. Nano, is it really that easy? Yes, it is. It really is that easy. Because here's the thing now. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So now we go to mind, body, spirit, non-negotiables. Then we go to business and job. Now, because I was consistent with my mind, body, and spirit, now it made it easy for me to be consistent with my business. Now it's easy for me to pick up the phone and make sales, do follow-ups, present the business. I have a job. How do I do a non-negotiable for my job? I'm going to show up to work every day on time. I'm going to make one person's day at work. I'm going to bring great energy every single day. I remember I had this one student once that said, bro, I hate my job. I hate it. And they were just complaining about it so much. And I said, bro, I need you to change the way that you're looking at your job. He said, because right now, let me ask you a question. Is your job paying your bills? He said, yes. He was like, yo, but I hate my environment. My environment sucks. Everybody's negative around me. I was like, I understand. That makes a lot of sense. But let's focus on the positive. I said, your job pays your bills, right? He was like, yes. All right. I said this. From this day moving forward, change the energy in that environment. How about you bring good energy to that environment every single day? How about you bring positivity to that environment every day until it changes? Start changing people's days and make people's days every day in there. Find a way. Bring a box of donuts tomorrow to work. Watch the energy shift in the room. He did it. He brought a box of donuts the next day to work, gave everyone a donut. The energy shifted. He started speaking life into people. I said, yo, every day make it a goal to have an intentional conversation with somebody and speak life into somebody. He started speaking life into people. Next thing you know, a week later, he calls me, he texts me, he says, bro, the energy has completely shifted at my job, bro. And I actually enjoy coming to work now. Everybody's happy. It seems like everything is now a lot more positive and a lot more uplifting. I like, remember, you change the environment by the things that you do and say. Before, you were adding to the environment. You were adding to the negative ball of energy. So that's the reason why it felt the way that it felt, and it started to feel heavy. You came in there now and you became a positive light. And because for the whole week, you've been nothing but a positive light to everybody, speaking life into people, bringing them boxes of donuts, making people's days. Now notice how the shift has happened at your job. You've been showing up early. You've been staying late. You've been doing the work. Look at how it works now. Now the energy has shifted. He went from hating his job to now, you know what? This is not that bad. I actually enjoy coming to work. 3 daily non-negotiables. If you're in a business, remember, for businesses, we get paid to enroll or sell people on our businesses. So if you have a business, let's make sure that we're selling. We have different businesses on this call. We have real estate. We have AI. We have coaches. We have network marketers. We have traders. We have all different types of businesses on this call. What are the things that you know you got to do for your business to grow? Start doing those things every day, a little bit a day. All right. And then the last thing, the last non-negotiable is social media. So I can wrap it up here. Social media. If you're building and this is something that you want to do, remember, your non-negotiable for this month could be, it don't even have to be to be productive on social media. It could simply be, hey, I'm only gonna dedicate 2 hours a day to Instagram, 1 hour a day to Instagram. Or if you're trying to be productive and you're trying to build a brand, hey, I'm gonna post every day this week. I'm gonna post 4 to 5 times a week. I'm gonna go live once a week. I'm gonna post my biggest takeaway from Mornings with Nano daily. What is gonna be your intention? And like I said, you don't have to do all 3 non-negotiables, but I would recommend at least the first 2 non-negotiables. The first one is mind, body, spirit. The second one is your business and job. Now, I know not everybody's crazy into social media unless you're building a business like I am, a digital business, but I recommend it. Highly recommend it. Align yourself. That's all you got to do. Align yourself. Get aligned, guys. If you're already aligned, stay aligned. If you're not aligned, get in alignment, because it's going to be super valuable. And then last but not least, number 4 is do not let March just be another month. Do not let March just be another month. Some people will look back at March as just another page in the calendar. I want us to look at March as the month where everything shifted, where the breakthroughs happened, where we drew the line in the sand, where every single one of us made the decision to go for more and everything eventually started to work in our favor. That's what I want the month of March to be for us. I don't want March to just be another month. That sucks. That doesn't sound intriguing. I want the month of March to be a month that we look back and be like, yo, Nano, that call you did on March Madness Mindset was what I needed. I eliminated my distractions. I fixed myself up. I did even more work than I was doing, bro. I was disciplined already. I stayed even more disciplined. I did the non-negotiables, bro. I aligned my mind, my body, and my spirit, bro. And it was the best decision I ever did. I started posting more on social media. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I stopped staying up late, and I started waking up early. The biggest flex is waking up early. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Coming from somebody that was a night owl, I used to love staying up late, 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. I used to love doing that. It's not the flex. The flex is getting up at 5 a.m. The flex is waking up when it's still dark and you wait for the sun to rise. You watch the sun rise because of how early you are. That is a flex. And if you don't believe me, like literally do your research. At what time do the most successful people in the world wake up? On average, at what time? Now, is it everybody? No. Is it everybody? No. But the reality of it is, majority of people do. Let me see what it says right here. The most common wake up range for people who earn 7 and 8 figures is between 4:30 and 6:30. Anybody that wakes up between 4:30 and 5 a.m., founders obsessed with discipline, health, and control over their schedule. The most common sweet spot is between 5 and 6 a.m. And then the other is between 6 a.m. and 6:30. This is for individuals who value sleep a little bit more, but still want an early age. And you know what's crazy? It goes even deeper. 7, 8 figure earners don't wake up reacting to notifications. They don't like to start their day in chaos. And they don't let the world dictate their tempo. They dictate it. They usually start with movement, gym, walk, stretch, thinking time, journaling, reading and learning, and strategic game planning before reactive work. The biggest common denominator is not that they wake up at 5 a.m. It's the consistent sleep schedule, protected morning routine, no snoozing, and an intentional start. Think about that, bro. Look, guys, I just did the research. Not so that you guys could say like, "Oh, Nano, you trying to force us to do your morning routine." No, I'm not. It's not me. I'm teaching you guys from the things that my mentors and my people that I've looked up to and I've studied have said. Yo, this is the reality right here. These are the numbers. You want to get a head start to your day. And remember, we are entrepreneurs. We are people that want to get to those levels. We got to do that. We can't expect a new level if we're doing the things that we've always done. We got to do different. Kings don't argue. Yeah, bro, facts. Get up at 6 a.m. to go to bed at 10 p.m. That's perfect. Full 8 hours of sleep. You need that. I agree. That's a perfect wake up time for you. You value sleep. You still get an early edge. 6 a.m. is the sweet spot, bro. That's a perfect sweet spot right there. It's a good time. 6 a.m. I think is a perfect time, especially for a 10 p.m. Sleep time. If you could go to sleep every day at 10 and wake up at 6, you're golden. Golden. I live in Thailand, up all around the clock. Sadly, no sleep. That's hilarious. I recommend sleep though. I always recommend 7, 8 hours of sleep. I do 7. I could function off 7. I'm solid with 7. I could even function with 6 to be honest, because sometimes I take like little midday naps as well. But guys, March is our month. March is the month. Please take it very, very serious and don't allow yourself to slip up. All right. So, last thing I want to say here is this. Okay, is we have officially launched our next speaker for the Mornings with Nano Inner Circle Masterclass. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, Nano, what is this? How can I be a part of this? This Thursday, all right, this Thursday, we have special guests. He goes by the name of Todd Special. Now, Todd Special is a very special individual. He is a CEO of a company called Make Sales Great Again. He is a 3-time best-selling author. He's a keynote speaker, and he has managed over $800 million. He's going to be doing a fire sales and mindset training for the inner circle this Thursday. Now, this guy right here, just so that you guys have an idea, He charges people $15,000 an hour to speak. Legitimately, for to speak to hire him to speak for an hour, he charges 15K. He charges 15K. Look, let me show you guys, just so that you guys, just in case you guys, let me see. Let me show you guys right here. Look at this. Stop sharing. This was our conversation the other day. I text him, bless my brother, how are you? I see you crushing your 2026. He said, yeah, man. You know, I love speaking and do it for fun, but I'm getting paid 15K at a time and it's always fun. 15K for an hour he gets paid. He's speaking for the inner circle. Just know we get the homie discount. We get love here at the inner circle. This is somebody that literally charges $15,000 for 1 hour. Think about that. Imagine paying somebody, yo, here's 15K for you to teach my company, my executives, my sales leader, your strategies and your techniques. The thing is that this individual has managed 800 M's, 3-time best-selling author, CEO of an incredible company. We have him in the inner circle on Thursday. So inner circle, promote this, share this with other people. Let everybody know, yo, we got this person. And if you're on this call and you want to have access to this kind of information, it's not going to be on YouTube. It is only for the inner circle on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right. So that is our inner circle guest who's going to be speaking this Thursday. Take advantage of it. It is going to be a closed door masterclass only for inner circle members with Q&As at the end. And if you guys want to be a part of the inner circle, just DM me inner circle so that we can give you all the details and we can get you guys locked in. But with that being said, guys, that wraps up today's training. Give me some 777s in the chat box if you guys got value from today's training. Today we went over the March Madness mindset, which was number 1. March multiplies what you've already been doing. Number 2, the identity you need for the next 30 days. Number 3, the 3 non-negotiables for March. And then last but not least, number 4, don't let March just become another month. Make it your best month. All right. So 777s. God bless everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the call. De lo mío, Jen Regan, que lo que? Hit me up, bro. I hope that you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay productive. Remember, don't let March just be another month. We have hundreds of people live right now, and we have hundreds watching the live stream. Stay consistent. Stay true to you. If you need me for anything, please let me know. I want to help you guys grow and elevate in any way that I can. And I just know that if you're in the inner circle tomorrow, stay ready, because tomorrow we have a great call ahead of us. And then Thursday, we have nothing but an amazing call that's going to be filled with so much value. So I cannot wait. So DM me inner circle if that's you. And then let's lock in, fam. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, inner circle. I will see you guys tomorrow. And YouTube, I will see you guys on Wednesday, same time. Quick prayer, and then we'll end the call right there. Just a little quick prayer, everybody. Bow your heads and let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Monday morning and literally the beginning of the month of March. We feel so good and so confident heading into this month because we know that blessings, abundance, breakthroughs are awaiting us. And we just want to say thank you ahead of time for everything. I want to apologize and I want to ask for forgiveness on behalf of the individuals that are on this call that haven't been taking the proper actions. I pray, God, that you're able to put your hand over them and let them know that it's going to be okay, but that you need them to change. You need them to shift. And I want you to give them the strength that they need in order for them to show up in the month of March better than they ever have. Forgive them, wash them clean of their sins, and continue to guide them in the right direction. We want every single person that's on this call listening right now and watching the live stream to be impacted with your words, with your guidance, with your wisdom, with your deliverance, with your obedience, and with everything that comes with you, God. We are committed to you in this month of March. We open our hands and we accept the blessings. We accept the peace. We accept the breakthroughs. And we're just so blessed to have a leader like you leading the way. So we appreciate you. We love you. Everything that we do is for your praise and for your glory. Let's finish these next 30 days stronger than ever. And everything is for you, God. We love you. We appreciate you. In God's name we pray. Amen. 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 Let's go. I'm excited. As you guys can see, the prayers are at the top. And we are ready to go, fam. So let's do what it takes. Let's continue to grow. And looking forward to it, fam. Love ya. Appreciate you guys. Inner Circle. See you guys tomorrow. And if you're in the Inner Circle, please let me know your biggest takeaway in the chat. Everybody else, I'll see you guys Monday. I'll see you guys Wednesday for the next YouTube call. Let's work. God bless.